Now for Japanese players playing for Celtic, how was your first impression like that for Japanese players playing Celtic? Like, is that thanks to Shunsuke Nakamura's impact of Celtic fans? It was not surprise.
So obviously Nakamura was amazing for Celtic. Like if you speak to any Celtic fan, they will tell you that he's one of their favourite players. He was amazing at free kicks, obviously, dead ball specialist. He had a good football brain. But obviously when Postecoglou started to manage Celtic, he knew about the Japanese league because he had been there before. So he obviously started to bring in these Japanese players. The first impressions really were, so Kyogo, for example, Celtic fans love Kyogo, good goal scorer, very good movement. Maeda, his finishing isn't the best, although he works very hard.
Yep.
He's very fast. And in terms of Hatate, he starts every game. He plays every game in the midfield. He's a very good player. Ideguchi hasn't really played much, but when he came into the team at first, he got injured. So it's been a bit more difficult for him, I think, to actually get into the team. But Celtic fans are really happy about the fact that we've signed these players from Japan because they've actually had a really big impact on our squad so far. So it's been very good.
I saw article that Celtic fans are not satisfied with Maeda because he missed many opportunities in the box. And what do you think about his performance?
So, like in terms of his effort, you can't fault his effort. He runs a lot. He works very hard. However, I think a lot of Celtic fans are not pleased about the fact of his finishing. So he does get a lot of chances because of the high pressing style that Celtic play. They create a lot of chances. Maybe in some Champions League games against RB Leipzig and Shakhtar Donetsk, or Real Madrid as well, actually, he had a good chance and he missed those. So some Celtic fans are kind of 50-50 on him. He works hard, but probably could improve his finishing.
Is Kyogo one of the most popular players in Scotland? Or I think
for sure,
quite popular. So
absolutely, for sure. I would say that the two most popular or the two best players in the team are probably Jota or Kyogo. They score the most goals. They score the biggest goals. They're involved in the biggest moments. We also have another striker, a Greek striker called Giacomakis, who's good as well. But the fact that Kyogo starts over him and he normally starts most games and then Giacomakis can come on as a substitute, it shows how good he is. But he's definitely a fan favourite, Kyogo, for sure.
He's kind of a moving striker, right? He's not typical number 9. Like he's not tall and he's not so strong, but his movement
is amazing. For sure. I think the thing that defenders find difficult about Kyogo, because when he's in the box and there's crosses coming in, one minute he's here and then the next minute he's peeled off the defender and he's here and he's scoring. I think that's actually I read something about, does Iniesta still play in Japan?
Iniesta still play in Japan,
You still play? I read, I'm sure that Kyogo played in the same team as Iniesta. For, is it Kobe? Vissel Kobe?
Yeah, Vissel Kobe. That's why he improved a lot. Thanks to Iniesta.
Because when Kyogo signed for Celtic, there was an interview that Iniesta done, and he basically said that his movement's amazing and Celtic are very lucky to be getting this kind of player, which is obviously high praise from Iniesta because he's played with Messi, Villa, all of these players. So I think when Iniesta said that, I think everybody thought, oh, this guy's obviously going to be very good. So and I think we only paid maybe £1 million, which isn't too much for Kyogo. So it's been a brilliant signing so far.
By the way, did you know that Shunsuke Nakamura just retired?
No, I didn't actually.
Really, you didn't?
I didn't hear that.
He just retired.
I knew actually last season, I remember Googling him last season, and I was quite surprised that he was still playing because I think he was well into his 40s, maybe 43, 44. Okay. Yeah. So I remember looking last season, and I was speaking to my friends about it, and I was saying that, did you know that Nakamura was still playing in Japan, and they didn't know because they just assumed that he would be retired.
Yeah, how was his impact in Glasgow? I remember his free kick against Manchester United.
Man United.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's actually hard to describe how big an impact he had for Celtic fans unless you were living in Glasgow at the time or you were watching at the time. It was just I think he was most Celtic fans' favourite player at that time. We had other good players as well. And we were actually doing quite well in Europe at that time because the game that he scored 2 free kicks against Man United, one at Old Trafford and one at Celtic Park. Yeah, he had a huge impact when he played at Celtic. If you ask any Celtic fan about Nakamura, 99% of Celtic fans will tell you that he's one of their favourite players.
Yeah,
because he always came across as well as such a nice man. Like a humble guy as well.
Yeah,
so,
very humble.
Yeah,
very humble. Yeah.
That's always the way he came across. Quite quiet, but he was very humble, and he just seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, definitely.